1865. With endless skirmishing at Petersburg, Sherman marches through the Carolinas, meeting minimal resistance. Confederates lash out at Bentonville, but gain nothing. His strength waning, General Joe Johnston writes Lee saying, "I can do no more than annoy Sherman." With Sherman closing on Petersburg, Lee launches half his army upon Grant at Fort Stedman. But the Confederates cannot break out. Grant counterattacks all along the line, making key gains. The Confederate Congress desperately authorizes the enlistment of black soldiers, but no such unit sees combat. Union victories at White Oak Road and Five Forks set the stage for the breakthrough of Confederate lines. Petersburg and Richmond are evacuated as Lee moves westward. Savage combat at Sailor's Creek further degrades Lee's forces. Some of Lee's subordinates urge him to disperse the army and continue the war with guerrilla tactics. Lee firmly declines. Finally, on April 9th, Grant catches Lee at Appomattox Courthouse. Out of food, surrounded, and appallingly outnumbered, Lee surrenders. Johnston is brought to the same conclusion later that month, surrendering to Sherman at Bennett's Place. As the news spreads, Confederate units across the country lay down their arms. Amidst these surrenders, tragedy strikes. President Lincoln is assassinated by John Wilkes Booth, a famous actor and Southern sympathizer. North and South are both deprived of Lincoln's leadership in the painful reconstruction to come. Jefferson Davis flees southward but is captured in Georgia. "4 years, 10,000 engagements. At last, the carnage is over. 620,000 dead, 2% of the American population at that time. Today, 2% would equal more than 6.5 million Americans gone. In the wake of victory, 200,000 Union soldiers marched down Pennsylvania Avenue in the Grand Review. Grant and Lee both urge a peaceful return to civilian life. As Confederate states re-enter the Union, the nation ratifies the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments, abolishing slavery and granting citizenship and voting rights to African Americans. But it will take much longer for these new rights to be enforced by law. During and after the turbulent Reconstruction period, Civil War veterans form groups, write books, and found newspapers. Cemeteries are established for soldiers on both sides. Battlefield land is preserved, and veterans erect monuments on these battlefields to memorialize their deeds. Battlefield preservation slows as Civil War veterans die. World War II, Korea, and Vietnam do little to spur additional battlefield preservation.